Hello, I'm your superhero critic. The month of May brings about different changes within the seasons of weather. But in comics, it brings us the anniversary of one of the greatest superheroes of all time. I'm talking about the one, the only, the Batman. So, it being the month of May, I have decided to dub this month as BatMan. So, where do I begin the month of BatMan? Well, when it comes to live action, we turn to Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan. Now, when it comes to animated, we turn to the one and only Bruce Timm, who has been around doing animated Batman films for years. But, where do we begin? Let's go back to the animated series from the 90s. One of the most successful superhero TV shows of all time. Spawned a 1995 superhero film that went to theaters. That movie was The Mask of the Phantasm. One of my favorite Batman films, so we are going to start the month of BatMan with The Mask of the Phantasm. We open the movie with a very detailed cityscape of Gotham City, with one of the best musical scores. Okay, I am not one for classical or just instrumental music. Okay, I am not one for just classical or instrumental music, but this has to be one of the best soundtracks ever. To the point I have listened to the soundtrack so many times, I could sit and watch the movie in my head while I'm at work, because I listen to it while I'm working. If you don't agree with that, listen to the first track. If you don't like that music, I'm sorry, your music taste is horrible. The movie quickly jumps to Chucky Saw, a crime boss who is trying to mass-produce counterfeit money. That is quickly interrupted by the Batman. Alright, 2 minutes in and we already get awesome fight scenes. The fight eventually leads them into a parking garage where Chucky runs into who he thinks is the Batman. He soon learns that it is not, and it is in fact his angel of death come to kill him.
Got you, lousy, stinking.
Of course, because Batman is seen at the crash site, he gets the blame of the death by the councilman. But he does not let that get to him, because he goes back to the Batcave and starts examining the broken glass he picked up from the garage. We also meet the main love interest of the movie, Andrea Beaumont, who believes her love with Bruce is officially over.
Oh, Arthur, don't start that again. He's ancient history.
Okay, who is going to tell Andrea that No matter how hard you try, if you are a love interest within a comic book, your love is never over. Back at Wayne Manor, we see that Bruce is having a party where he runs into a bunch of his exes. One of them eventually throws Punch in his face. He then runs into the councilman, who reminds him that Andrea still exists. Bruce goes into his private room and we get our very first flashback. The flashback shows us Bruce mourning over his parents, and he meets Andrea talking to her own deceased mother.
Mother was asking.
I'm just gonna put that down here below. Yeah, you see that? That's what you're gonna get. The flashback then continues as we see Bruce swinging into action for the very first time as Ski Mask Man.
On your stomachs. Arms spread.
Who's this clown?
That's what she said. Bruce eventually saves the night as he chases down the remaining thug in his own truck and nearly escapes death twice. The flashback eventually ends with Bruce practicing his martial arts and Andrea and him having a conversation about why he didn't call. I guess you could say they're falling for each other. We then meet our next gang leader, Buzz Bronski, who is visiting Chucky at the graveyard, showing us that the two of them were connected somehow. And just like Chucky, Buzz eventually gets killed off by the Phantasm. I guess you could say he actually met his angel of death. What is their fucking noise? After an old man has a heart attack on the word of Buzz's death, the councilman wants Batman's head on a platter, but Commissioner Gordon won't go for it because it's clearly not Batman doing it. The Batman then visits the gravesite of Buzz's death and almost has a run-in with Andrea.
Bruce?
This is more than likely going to become a definite thing within Batman movies, but Batman cannot keep his fucking identity secret from women. Here we catch up to our peeping Tom Batman as the movie fades to another flashback. The second flashback consists of Bruce and Andrea touring with an amusement park and Bruce meeting Andrea's father. Andrea's father has problems with Sal Valestra, and Bruce ends up saving a man from a bike gang jumper.
Come on, let me have a look at you.
Andrea, please.
God, Bruce, no wonder why you can't keep a woman. You treat them like shit. Bruce then has a hissy fit over choosing whether or not to stay with Andrea or continue his work as a crime fighter.
What shall I say, sir? I don't know. I just don't know!
He just doesn't know! Bruce visits his parents' grave again, depressed and not expecting things to change. Seeing Andrea has a sign that he can still be happy. He does not know whether or not he wants to give up on his promise. Back to the main storyline where we see the councilman is actually in cahoots with Valestra, and that they have a past. That cough is seriously not healthy.
It's not very healthy in here.
I just said that! Batman makes the connection with all the killings, and after an argument with Alfred...
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Bottom.
He goes to Valestra's place and starts making connections after looking over photos.
Andrea's father.
Damn, this movie has more flashbacks than a Vietnam veteran! The third flashback shows us Bruce, who is proposing to Andrea, and in the process, they are then scared half to death with symbolism for the future. Andrea then goes to tell her daddy the good news, but is told they have to leave Gotham for good. Bruce is then given the bad news, and through depression, the Bat is finally born.
My God.
Back to the present, Valestra has a meeting with the much-needed comic relief villain from Batman's main rogue gallery.
I hate that song.
Best Batman villain ever. Mark Hamill has always been the best Joker, and he always will. I don't care what live actor you get. Mark Hamill is the Joker. End of story. Sal and Joker go to Joker's inner hideout, and Sal tells him how Buzz and Chucky have been killed off, thinking it's Batman. Sal wants to hire the Joker to take out the Bat, but of course the Joker has his own plans.
Certainement. No way is anybody gonna hurt my pal Sal. That's it. That's what I want to see. A nice big smile.
Batman and Andrea then have a serious heart-to-heart with each other.
You still following your dad's orders?
The way I see it, the only one in this room controlled by his parents is you.
Ooh, sick burn, Andrea. That didn't even deserve a sound effect! The Bat goes to investigate Sal's again, only to have a bomb set up by the Joker. The Batman then gets chased down by the cops while he himself is chasing the Phantasm. The chase turns into a gun down as the Phantasm disappears. Our beloved hero gets hurt. Wait. Is that blood in a cartoon from the 90s? Awesome movie is awesome. Andrea comes out of nowhere and eventually saves Bruce's life and...
Having a meeting that night with his partners.
Okay, if this movie has one more goddamn flashback, I'm going to scream. Mother God, fuck. Flashback number goddamn 4 is Sal demanding more money from Andrea's father, and him forcing Andrea to leave. Thus we see why the two of them broke up to begin with. Back to the present, we see Batman taking the time to examine the photo he got from Andrea's house. And Bruce finally makes the connection that we as an audience already guess.
Oh no.
Dun dun dun! Oh, fuck you! The Joker decides to pay a visit to the councilman, and after scaring the shit out of him, he makes it clear he knows the Phantasm's not the Batman. Eventually, he turns Reeves into a laughing corpse. Batman then visits the laughing man in the hospital, and we learn more backstory on what really happened in the past.
That's not the answer I want.
Beaumont needed me to help him and his kid get out of town. He kept in touch.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Years ago. My first election campaign. I was running out of money and asked Beaumont for help.
Back at Andrea's house, Batman gets a very explosive phone call.
Hello, operator. I believe my party's been disconnected.
After the final flashback, the Phantasm's identity is finally revealed as Andrea herself. Because nobody in the audience saw this coming at all. I mean, she's only the main focus throughout the entire movie. The climax of the movie is basically a giant battle between the Joker and the Phantasm. Eventually, the Joker overtakes the Phantasm until... While Batman argues with Andrea, we get more backstory that anyone could piece together.
Look what they did to us! What we could have had! They had to pay!
But Andy, what will vengeance solve?
If anyone knows the answer to that, Bruce, it's you.
Touché, Andrea. Touché. We finally get to the final fight of the movie. This lasts about a good 10 minutes, including a skyscraper fight, razor-sharp helicopter train surfing, and jetpacks. However, Andrea makes a personal choice to disappear with the Joker after the place starts to explode. Wow, what a bang. What? No sound effect? The movie ends with a slight hint that there may be a slight hint of hope left. So there you've got it. So there you've got it. One of the best animated Batman films in existence. Now mind you, there are some good ones. I have not gotten a hold of Son of Batman yet, but I will. But enough of animation. Let's go to live action. So, if you will join me next week, I, your superhero critic, will be going over Tim Burton's Batman. I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.